2 seasons since we've had 30 points. That's even more terrible.
That's brutal.
Terribleness. Terrible, honey. Terrible. Okay.
Told y'all.
Well, look who it is. It's Jake and Justin coming out of the woodworks here in 2024. It's been a minute, Jake. It's been a minute. Welcome back into Titans 2. Welcome into 2024. We did not have a video after the Seahawks game, and now we're just now doing the video after the Texans game. It feels like a rinse and repeat kind of week-to-week video, Jake. So what's the rush here? I don't know, but I hope you guys had a great Christmas, great holiday season. Hope it was great for everybody. It was good here at Titans 2, but unless you're watching these games, I mean, is the season over yet? It's terrible, Jake. Jake, how are you? Good to see you again, bud.
Good to see you too, Justin. I'm happy that we summoned the courage to get back on here and talk about this Titans squad, because it has not been pretty, Justin. As you said, it's been rinse and repeat. You know, if we got on after the Seahawks game, we would have been excited about the Derrick Henry's 4th career passing touchdown. That was pretty fun. That was cool to watch. He got in the end zone on a rushing touchdown. That's great. And then I guess the highlight of the Texans game was that Derrick Henry eclipsed 1,000 yards, became the 10th player all time to reach 5 seasons of 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. So that's awesome for Derrick Henry's Hall of Fame ballot. Should be 6, but that injury-shortened season in 2021 will forever haunt his Hall of Fame candidacy. Will remain to be
one
seen.
More game.
Yeah.
He just needed like one more game. He was at 900 something, and he was rolling that year too. So
that was 8 games in.
He was on track for 2,000 yards again. That was the 17 game season, I think. Or he could have gotten 2,000 yards back to back. That's ridiculous. Then
Hopkins went over 1,000 yards in the Texans game. Right. That's great for DeAndre Hopkins. He's been as advertised. Great signing.
It exceeded a lot of expectations, I think, especially with the little receiver help he's getting outside of him. I don't know if many people were like, yeah, he's still got 1,000 yards in him, but he's been quality. We've said it many times on this channel. I feel like he has been the MVP of this offense. If the offense is able to do anything, it's because of DeAndre Hopkins and making incredible plays for us. He's such a fun player. So happy to have him on the Titans team. And he should be back next year too. So excited for that. And if I can cap off, or if you have more stats, that's great. But to cap off even more stats, so if we rewound to the beginning of the season and you told me Derrick Henry 1,000 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns, DeAndre Hopkins 1,000 yards, and we are right now the only team in the NFL that currently has 2 players to exceed double-digit sacks, with Autry and Harold Landry getting his 10th and a half sack last week when he sacked Stroud in garbage time, I think, but it still counts. If you had told me that, I would be like, hey, this is going to be a good season. These guys are putting up some good numbers. Two guys going over double-digit sacks. I don't know when the last time the Titans did that. That's something to look up. When the last time, if the Titans have ever done something like that, I don't know. But it's just not. It's all still just falling apart, Jake. It's been rough going. For sure. I don't know where we want to take this video from there. I kind of cut you off yelling out stats, but I want to plug that in. I forgot.
100%. That's kind of where I was going. If you told me at the beginning of the season DeAndre Hopkins would have 1,000 yards this season and be on track to play all 17 games for the first time in his career, Justin, mind you, this is the first time ever Hopkins will suit up for all 17. I guess, I know it was 16 earlier in his career. I don't know the fine details of that stat. But yeah, I mean, him and Derrick Henry have been small positive spots on what has been an absolute nightmare of a season. We're regressing to the Ken Wisenhunt Titans, Justin. This isn't even Mike Mularkey. This is Ken Wisenhunt. This is the Titans have won 5 games in their last, 23, I think? Something along those lines. It is getting ugly, ugly, ugly. And I guess we can start here, Justin. I'm not going to mince words. I'm going to read exactly what the man in the office said at his press conference. Mike Vrabel, quote, "It sucks to lose." Long seething pause. "It fucking sucks. Losing awful."
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself, unquote. Justin, I don't know. What do you think of that from the head coach, Mike Vrabel, showing the emotion? Something we haven't really, other than Will Levis being all fired up on the sidelines or, little arguments, spats here and there. It's good to see emotion from the head coach, at least in my opinion, in these, oh my God, what has to be a brutal, talk about rinse and repeat presser for Mike Vrabel. What do you think of Vrabel's comments, and what do you think of all the rumors at large about Vrabel Carthon not getting along?
Smoke. I think it's smoke. But is there fire where there's smoke? I don't know. The first thing though, it's more the emotion for me than it is the words, because the coach isn't going to be like, yeah, you know what, we're losing's not that bad at this point in the season. It helps our draft stock, yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. No one's ever going to say that, but you can tell that it is bothering Vrabel. He was annoyed at the question, at the insinuation that whatever the person asking was trying to get at. But yeah, dude, he does not want to lose. He never wants to lose. Like the new meme where, the camera just stayed on him when he was doing this, rubbing his eyes at some point in the Texans game. I think it was another offensive line penalty or something to back us up when it was like a short yardage situation. That was probably what it was, or something. But it does absolutely suck, and we're with you in that emotion, Vrabel. Dude, and like we have a chance to, I think, improve a few draft spots too if we don't beat the Jags on Sunday, and a couple of other teams lose, like the Giants and the Chargers, perhaps the Cardinals. If they also win, we might jump up even more. But Vrabel is not out here about to go out and try to lose this game against Jacksonville. And I know a lot of fans might like to see that as well, but dude, I said it before we came on. I think this is our Super Bowl. If we can go out there and beat the Jacksonville Jags, that would tie a bow, if I can make a Christmas analogy, on an otherwise terrible season. It would feel like vengeance. It would put us out of the running for any kind of hopes at Marvin Harrison Jr. or one of the top 2 tackles that are can't miss tackles that are surefire, day one starters, franchise, offensive linemen here. They might be gone if that puts us at around pick 10. And you know what? That would suck. With as poor as our offensive line has been, that would be terrible. But to play spoiler like this against Jacksonville is just too sweet of an opportunity. And especially given Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, I don't know if Tannehill's going to play. I guess Will Levis is expected
remains to be
go
seen
out there. But for the last run of Derrick Henry, if he can go out and have a good game and we can end the Jags playoff hopes, that would be so sweet to see happen. But anyway, I kind of got off on a tangent with Vrabel and the emotion. You love to see, you want to see a coach here that cares about nothing more than winning and backing his players. He always talks about being happy for the players, and he loves coaching the players, and that's what it's all about for him. And so, yes, at some point you got to see results. And I don't know what the pulse is on Amy Adams-Strunk. I just still have a feeling she's very much 100% with Vrabel and giving him a chance to for sure come back next year. I don't know about beyond that. It depends on what happens next year. But I think she wants Vrabel to use all this cap space, to use this high draft capital now to try to fix this and turn this thing around and give him that opportunity with a new GM who's just now coming in with his second year. I don't know what to make of the rumors and speculation, though, about them not getting along, or Vrabel could be traded, or Vrabel wants out of Tennessee. And some of the reporters, I think, are more credible than others. Some are not at all. part of me thinks it's just they see Vrabel, quality head coach, big kind of like personality guy, but he's stuck in a small market, and it would be so much more fun and exciting to see him go to New England or go to Ohio State or something like that, and they're pushing their narrative when there's really little to no truth to that. But I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of talk out there, a lot of jabber about Vrabel and Carthon not getting along, and I don't know. I don't know why that would be. I think Carthon had a B minus, B plus ish first year with his first 3 draft picks looking good. Skronsky is, I don't know. He started out strong, I felt like, but now I feel like he's grading not as well than he wasn't as well as the first half of the season. But you look at Will Levis, proved a lot of people wrong. I think he's been a lot better than what most people expected. He's definitely giving an indication that he definitely could be the guy. And then Tajay Spears has been such a nice such a nice addition. Change of pace back. Looks like he could be here to stay as a good weapon for this team. And beyond that, I don't know. But the first 3 picks, we definitely needed these first 3 in the most important rounds to turn out well. And then also signing DeAndre Hopkins, Alshire has been a good signing as well. So all 100%. Of that being said, what's the beef? Is it egos maybe butting heads? I'm struggling to find why Vrabel and Carthon would be at odds for any reason, giving the successes you could say that he's had in his first year. But I don't know. What do you think, Jay? Do you think there's truth? Is there what's going on with Vrabel in this team?
It is. As you see a little guest appearance there from our cat Fran. I think there is some merit to the smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire camp. I get that, but I'm with you. Like, I mean, other than a nightmare season, and I think that would wear on anybody, working in the building day in, day out, long grinding hours just to end up at 5-11, absolute laughing stock. Haven't scored a touchdown in 4 games this season, Justin. It's been awful. And I think that would wear on anybody. I think that would cause conflict with anybody. If they were 11-5, they would probably be great pals, and you wouldn't hear any of this. So I do agree with you that it seems odd that they would be, having conflict after such a short time together. It's really only been 1 season, if we want to just fast forward to the end of Sunday, it's only been 17 games in the Rand Carthon era. And like you said, he's contributed a lot of good to this roster. As poorly as this season has gone, there has been bright spots, and that is due to Rand Carthon's roster acquisitions and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Did she chime in? Does Fran want to chime in? Is she giving her take on Brady?
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, sorry about that. But you have to give Mike. I don't think Mike Vrabel's going anywhere this offseason, Justin. Period. I don't think Mike Vrabel will be the head coach of the Tennessee Titans week 1 in 2024. There's no doubt in my mind of that. Now, there was also no doubt in my mind that they would trade A.J. Brown in the 2021 offseason. So what do I know about anything? And I feel like we have a good pulse on this team, and I feel like Amy Adams Strunk does approve of Mike Vrabel. But I mean, dude, the losses are getting embarrassing, and they are bad. And that is, you remember the Eagles loss last season, and that was enough is enough. John Robinson, out of here. Amy Adams Strunk. So, you don't think she's in her native Houston in the press box, watching the city of, her dad's old team beating up on the Titans in embarrassing fashion. Like, they didn't even really beat them up. The Titans just self-inflicted over and over and over again. And it was so ugly to watch. Justin, I consider myself a blue chip fan. I'm there. I'm paying attention. I'm watching the games. This was the first game I've turned off at halftime since probably, the Ken Wisenhunt era, where they're 3-win seasons, because it's getting that bad to where I think, wow, why am I spending my Sunday hours watching this? Because I know it's a foregone conclusion. 17-0 feels insurmountable for the squad. Roundabout way, Justin, the NFL stands for not for long. And while I do feel good about Mike Vrabel staying through the offseason, I think if there's not more wins in 2024, if he can't return them to a competitive status in at least the division, that seat might get warm awful fast. And it's a tough balancing act because there's weeks where, wow, this team needs a philosophy change. And then there's weeks where Mike Vrabel is one of the great leaders of men in the National Football League, and it would be insanely stupid to let him go. Now, I do think trading him is an option with, the trade of Sean Payton last year and how I really didn't know head coaches could be traded. So I could see something
Yeah.
there. If the Titans could snake a first-round pick or two out of Mike Vrabel, then you might get me to listen and pick up the phone. But right now, as it stands, I don't think Mike Vrabel's job's in jeopardy. I think he would be scooped up instantly if he was fired, and I think it would be a huge misstep in this rebuild of the Tennessee Titans. I don't know. I don't really know where this team goes from here, man. It's been a tough year.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I've got friends and stuff that are texting that do think his seat is getting really hot. And like I had a friend text me during the Houston game when things were starting to get real bad. He was like, if the Titans drop this game and lose by 30 plus points to Houston, being like you're referring to how that's Amy Adams Strunk's dad's old city where the team used to be, and just getting embarrassed by Houston. I think Amy might pull the plug on Vrabel, and I'm like, yeah, it would look terrible, but I'm with you. I didn't see the AJ Brown trade coming. I didn't see J-Rob getting fired because he did such solid work in his first couple seasons, his first couple drafts. I thought he was pretty comfortably in place, but man, Amy Adams Strunk was more pissed than I could have ever thought she was about the A.J. Brown trade and then what happened in that Eagles game. I was pretty shocked to see J-Rob fired, honestly, even though a lot of people had already turned their backs on him. I guess maybe I'm too loyal, and maybe we're being too loyal to Vrabel. But I think Vrabel, dude, 2 years ago, he was coach of the year.
Yeah.
And last season, dealing again with all kinds of crazy injuries, and ending the season on a 7-game losing streak. And then this year, seemingly continues to regress the team as a whole. And I think the big thing sticking out is the offensive line. I mean, he has got to find a way to fix this offensive line, or nothing can work. I mean, dude, just this last game, Ryan Tannehill sacked 5 times. And am I misremembering? You said you turned off the game at halftime, but I'm pretty sure when we were running out the clock, handing the ball off to Jonathan Ward, number 20, I think we gave him 3 straight handoffs and it ended the game. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if there's a highlight of this, but on Tannehill's last handoff, he got hit while he was handing the ball off and fell to the ground. He might have tripped, but I know he fell to the ground on a handoff when the game was already decided. I just remember him seeing get up so slowly and just kind of saunter off the field. And I felt bad for him, dude. Like, he hasn't been great. Tannehill clearly has regressed since his first few years with the Titans. But, dude, I felt bad for him. Like, that he should not be having to deal with the amount of hits taken. And it was shocking. The Houston defensive line in both games completely embarrassed this offensive line with the sacks. And I'm shocked Henry even got 42 yards rushing on 3.5 yards per carry. Tyjae Spears, 6 carries, 0 yards with a long of 5 yards. So he had a long of 5, and then he just went backwards from there. Like, dude, we have got to fix this O-line. Ryan Carthon, Mike Vrabel. Like, dude, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is there somehow, some way, wherever we're drafting, that's going to be super tempting. But I feel like you got to make the smart move.
You have to. You
can't throw the ball when you can't protect the quarterback. So yeah, I mean, I think the blueprint is right there. Fix this offensive line before anything, because well, it's interesting that we didn't make the video after the Seahawks game, but that could have been an interesting game to talk about, because you have a team who's already been eliminated from the playoffs, dealing with injuries. I think, did Will Levis play at all in that game? I can't even remember. Was it Ryan Tannehill the whole time?
It was the whole way. Ryan Tannehill whole way.
So you're bringing back your backup now at this point, your quarterback that you benched, and you have a team that is fighting for their playoff lives. They just came out of that win against the Eagles, that crazy win, and they have so much to play for. And your team should have won that game. The Titans led the game pretty much throughout. And then, of course, the very last couple drives, the Seahawks figure it out, I guess, and score a touchdown to take the game away. But you see what this team can do. But then the following week, we look completely helpless. I mean, that game was over before it started. As soon as Will Levis got hit and knocked on his back, fumbled, scoop score, I mean, it was over. There was no coming back from that. And so it is a week-to-week league. And, I mean, you see some good things and things that we can build around. Like, we can go toe-to-toe with a team that is right in the middle of playoff contention and fighting for their lives, and we've got nothing to play for, and playing a bunch of backups. Like, our secondary, dude, I swear I learned the name of a new player every single week, especially on the defensive backfield. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm coming back to, what do you do with this team? And you have to take a hard look at the O-line. I mean, that's got to be the first thing that you have to do. And yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of change. You got to see what you're going to do with Derrick Henry. What are you going to do with Treylon Burks? I was just about to transition there, man?
And that too.
Yeah.
Man,
I guess we've got a big need at receiver. Yeah. I mean, I'll just wrap it up. It looks like we have a big need at receiver because, dude, that drop was pretty deflating. First play of the game, yes. Will Levis throws a beautiful deep bomb, and I mean, you've got to come up with that, man. He looks good when he has the ball in his hands. I mean, he looks like a strong, big-bodied A.J. Brown build kind of receiver, but he can't stay healthy. And he can't come down. I mean, with the big passes, with the drops, and I mean, I guess he's under contract, but like we've got to find a better wide receiver. We need a wide receiver one. I think Hopkins would be better suited for this offense as the second option, and he would excel even more so as the wide receiver too. But so you got holes there. I mean, as well, like running back, wide receiver, and for sure offensive line. But maybe we finally got the quarterback. So I don't know.
Remains to be seen.
But
remains to be seen.
That was all I had.
I when you said the game was over as soon as Will Levis got sacked in that, scoop and score, I thought the game was over first play. I thought Treylon had it there, and I just I mean, what do you do with this guy? I don't know if he has any trade value at all, Justin, but I say you have to give him at least till the trade deadline next season. And then I guess if he doesn't produce, I mean, he's not going to have any trade partners anyway. So it might just be depending on what they do in the offseason at the wide receiver position, he could be a roster cap casualty. I know he's on his rookie contract, and that seems drastic. Maybe give him a little more time is my end all be all. But Justin, we have 9 minutes left in this Zoom call. We have to address the elephant in the room. Is Sunday, January 7th, the last time we will see Derrick Henry suit up as a Tennessee Titan? Gut feeling. Okay, I'm holding that thought. And he disappears into the flag. Man, it really wrenches my gut to think that this could be it for the King. And, he's back.
I should have had this up the whole time. The bobblehead with the King, because this could be the last time. I should have just had this displayed. This could be the last time we see our franchise, one of the franchise greats. Anyway, that was unnecessary for me to leave like that. But it's a special sentimental moment, man.
Absolutely. I think it's it. As I feel like you can go back and watch every video we've made this season, and I'm saying it's Derrick Henry's. This is Derrick Henry's team, and then the next week I'm thinking, we have to move on from Derrick Henry. This is it. Like, this is gonna be last year, and then the next week, oh my God, like Derrick Henry's awesome, and we have to keep him around on a team-friendly deal, and then the next week we have to philosophy change. We have to move on, Justin. This is it. Yeah. I can't shake it. This is it.
Well, I was going to say, or have like a very reduced role, but that is implied if you have a philosophy change for sure. Because I think he's still got gas in the tank. I mean, he's lost a step or two, but man, sometimes he'll hit a hole like just and just look really good. Like, yes, dude, we need to give him more opportunities where we can open up some holes and give him space to run. And yeah, I mean, if I'm Derrick Henry, I want to retire a Titan. My heart is with the team and the city and the fans. Like he's blood, sweat, and tears for this franchise, all that. But you don't want to go out, with a team with the offensive line in the shape that it is, very uncertain. I mean, if I'm Derrick Henry, I'll be like, I'll sign a 2-year deal for a pay cut, but rounds 1 through 5 are all O linemen, and we're gonna give the best free agent O lineman that's available the biggest contract. Because I mean, he wants to go out a winner. He doesn't want to go out getting hit as soon as he gets the ball in his hands on a handoff to be tackled for 2-3 yard loss. So I think the Titans. I don't know. We kind of owe it to him to be like, what do you want? What do you want to do? I mean, we're going to try to bring you back, and because we have space, but we definitely don't want to spend a lot of that on bringing back Derrick Henry in a more limited role.
100%.
But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to talk about, but I think it would be almost better for both teams for Henry to move on, go to more of a contender team with an actual offensive line where he can excel as he runs into the sunset with his NFL career. So
sad times, man.
Could be last time, dude.
So
if he could just,
are you going to the game on Sunday?
Yeah, dude, I have to. Of course, I have to see Derrick Henry if it is the last time. And man, I hope he has a good game. Like, dude, he has to. Jacksonville just came off of a shutout. I mean, it was the Panthers, but I don't know how well he played in the first game. I think we lost by like 20 plus points to the Jags, so he probably didn't play that well. And the Jags are going to be fighting and clawing in this game to win because they have the AFC South title to play for. So they're not going to be holding back whatsoever. But man, I just give me like a 50-yard touchdown run even if all the other runs go for negative yardage, just something for the fans to just get up and celebrate and give them a standing ovation at the end of the day. That would be beautiful to see. But yeah, it's going to be tough. But either way, like Henry should get a standing ovation. He should be celebrated on Sunday because it probably might be the last run. I'm definitely starting to lean that way, and I'll try to. In this video without shedding a tear because it's sad to think about.
Hats off for the king, and man, it's been a really, really fun ride. Watching Derrick Henry in the two-tone blue. If this is it, if this is the last time we see his shining crown and that 22 and those dreadlocks flying down the field, he's truly my favorite Titan of all time. I always talk about I didn't get the early glory years. I was a little young. But man, I mean, this has been the most fruitful, successful era of Titans football that I've been able to watch, that I've been able to enjoy. Derrick Henry would have me belly laughing on Sundays, when he would get into a dominant mode and you saw that surge on the O-line and every carry was 6 yards, no matter what. It was just an absolute pleasure. And so if this is it, Derrick, thank you so much. Nashville owes it to you. And I think you're right. The Titans and Derrick Henry, it probably would be a good mutual parting of ways, as he might want to go to a contender and he's not getting any younger. Tajay Spears' success this season definitely plays a big role in what you have to do with Derrick Henry in the offseason. So, as bad as it's been, I mentioned I turned off the game at halftime. Justin, I'm not turning this one off. I'm going to make sure I send the king off with a proper salute and a thank you. And hopefully, this Titan season can come to a merciful end, honestly. It was like to see a good, close battle, but the Titans lose. I know that's loser talk. It fucking sucks to lose, Justin, as we've learned this week. But I don't want to miss out on one of these blue chip franchise tackles, if I'm being completely honest with you. But as it goes, man, in the two-tone blue, all you can do is put on a brave face at this point and show up for Derrick Henry, man, if all else fails.
I mean, I would also love the blue chip left tackle, dude. That's the smart move, but I will not be mad if Derrick Henry goes for 100, 200 yards, a couple touchdowns, and we give him the snap to knee to run out the clock, and the fans celebrate as we eliminate the Jags, and Derrick Henry gets this storybook ending send off. That's my number one hope. But
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
If we lose, let's grab the next Bruce Matthews while we're at it, and have an elite Hall of Fame O lineman, because the team needs that more than anything ever. Yeah. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. But come out to the game if y'all are watching this. Do your due diligence to find some tickets and support one of the greatest franchise players, if not the greatest franchise player, if I'm being completely honest, in the team's Titan history for sure. So yeah, gonna be sad, but we're gonna support it. And
absolutely.
Let's go beat the Jags. Screw it, beat the Jags.
Yes, beat the Jags. Tighten up, Justin. I like that positive ending. Brave faces, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank y'all for watching. I'm sure we'll be back with one more recap video before the offseason really kicks into high gear. Maybe a couple playoff videos. I don't know. We really haven't talked about it at all over this holiday. Yeah. But be well, everybody, and have a great new year. Salute to the king, and tighten up.